Hey there, friends on YouTube and everybody that subscribed to this channel. Listen, my name is Andy Werner, also known on Instagram as Wingman Werner, or as we should be calling me in the COVID-19 crisis that we're in right now, Wingnut Werner, with these crazy long hair I've got going on right now and wishing I could get it cut. In any event, listen, I want to talk to you guys today about something that I'm really passionate about, and that is about a book that I heard of yesterday called Fix This Next. I was on a webinar yesterday that I was fortunate enough to be on that Mr. Jason Medley put forth. He's the founder of the Collective Genius. For those of you who don't know what the Collective Genius is, it's roughly the 140 largest residential real estate investors in the country from the standpoint of turnkey rentals, fixing and flipping, wholesaling, lending, that kind of stuff. And they all kind of gather together and mastermind. And so Jason was gracious enough to put together this mastermind yesterday. I wouldn't call it a mastermind, I guess a webinar, I guess is a better way of putting it. And he had actually paid to have this guest on, who's one of my favorite authors. His name is Mike Michalowicz. And I first read his, I think it was his first book a few years ago called The Pumpkin Plan. But he's got a new book that he just released 2 or 3 days ago called Fix This Next. And I think it's just absolutely so timely for us based off of where we're at right now in the economy and the COVID-19. So listen, I'm going to kind of give you a real quick overview of the book because I bought it yesterday. I've already read a significant amount of the book. And it's not so much I want to give you an overview of the book, but I want to go over a concept that I picked up yesterday in the webinar directly from Mike, and something that he goes into further depth of the book, which obviously you can pick up the book wherever it is that you buy books, Amazon or whatever. All right, so he wrote this down in the webinar, and I'm going to share it with you. So most of us know or have heard that in business, whether you have a fix and flip business, you got a wholesaling business, some type of real estate investing business, or any business in general, whether you have you own a McDonald's or you own a Dutch Brothers or you have a widget business or whatever it is that you have going on, e-commerce store, anything like that. If you're an entrepreneur, we've been ingrained in our heads forever, right? Income minus expenses equals profit, right? So very, very simple equation. We bring income in, we have expenses go out, and then hopefully there's profit. But see, that's profits last, right? And so he had a book that he also wrote prior to this one that just came out called Fix This Next. His book prior to this was called Profit First, which is where I kind of picked up this concept before, which I think will be hugely impactful to you if you're willing to put forth the effort right now in your business to just apply this very simple concept. Look, it's simple, doesn't make it easy, but it's a very, very simple concept. And if you're willing to put the disciplines in place to do this, it'll make a massive impact in your business starting right now and moving forward. Listen, this is not the only not the only black swan that's ever happened in the history of this country, right? You know, I've been 20 years as an entrepreneur and business owner myself, and I have seen now 3, right? So 2001, we dealt with September 11th, right? In 2008, we had the market crash related to real estate specifically, and now here we are in 2020 dealing with COVID-19. And there will absolutely 100% be another black swan at some point in the future, and you're going to want to be in a position where you have liquidity, where you have enough business expenses, geez, at least 3 months of business expenses in cash that you can then be able to have. So for those of you that are really hurting right now and that don't have that right now, wouldn't it have felt great when this type of event happened that none of us expected? Nobody saw an invisible enemy like a virus coming in and really wreaking havoc on the world economy, not just our country's economy over the last 6 weeks. I mean, we were cranking along and then all of a sudden, boom, right? You just got hammered. And so if you have liquidity right now, be grateful. But for those of you that don't have liquidity, not all hope is lost, because listen, you can start applying this today. All right. So it's just a very, very simple new formula. So instead of income minus expenses equals profit, how about we start doing it this way? And again, this is not my thing here, okay? So I'm not the one that created this, all right? So I'm taking this directly from Fix This Next and directly from Mr. Mike Michalowicz, okay, who's the author that I was on this webinar with yesterday, all right? So I'm gonna hold this up for you, and it says here income, okay? So you got with the income line here, right? And then we've got profit, owner pay, taxes, and OPEX. And OPEX stands for operating expenses, all right? And so really every business is different on what these percentages are going to be, but the income that we get in, so let's say you're a wholesaler, right? And let's say you just sold a deal for $10,000 assignment fee, right? Or you're a fix and flipper and you just made $20,000 on your fix and flip. Okay, that's your income. Now you're going to want to take a percentage of that as profit first, okay? That profit comes off the top and that should go into a bank account that is very hard for you to get access to. So it shouldn't actually be at your bank that you do your normal banking at. In fact, it should be a bank that you don't even have a debit card attached to it, so that you'd have to actually go into the bank and get a certified check to even get access to that money. That's the profit, all right? So we want that first. So we're getting that paid first. Then we're paying ourselves next, all right? So we need to pay ourselves a salary of sorts that would be commensurate with what we'd have to pay somebody to replace ourselves in our own business. Then there's the taxes. Don't forget about the tax, man. Listen, I've had a tax lien before. They are no fun, and dealing with the IRS is no fun whatsoever. So we want to make sure that we're putting enough away for tax. And then we have our operating expenses, all right? So the operating expenses that we have are then going to be the things that pay our employees, marketing, contractors, subcontractors, insurance, utilities, rent payments, all that kind of stuff would be down here in the OPEX category. So I hope that's helpful for you. Listen, income, paying yourself first. This is the same kind of concept that you get kind of maybe from a Dave Ramsey type idea, paying yourself first, right? That goes into the profit section. And that profit section, when we set that aside, we can use that to do things like paying down our debt that we've kind of been accumulating in our businesses over the years, because many of us have a situation where our P&L, our profit and loss statement, shows that we are in the green. We're making money big time, but our bank accounts, right, show that we're in the red. And I've talked about this at seminars that I've done before, and those of you that have been students of mine have heard me say this many, many times before, especially when you're in the fix and flip business, but this is true of all businesses. We can be wildly profitable and dead broke at the same time. And the reason for that is because we're not doing things this way, right? So we've got to take that profit first and then find a way to operate off of this OPEX down here that we have left. And so these should each be different percentages, whether this is 20% and this is 10% or whatever. We get down here with the taxes and the OPEX, whatever all these percentages work out to. Get Mike's book, Fix This Next. He kind of goes into that in depth in that book, as well as in Profit First, on what these percentages might look like based on what type of business you have. I can't recommend the book enough. Can't recommend any of the books that he's written enough. And in fact, he actually goes into depth about, hey, which one of my books should you read first? If you were to go pick up my books, and he actually says, hey, you should read this one that I actually just got done writing and got released just a few days ago, which is Fix This Next. So go check out that book. I can't recommend it enough. And listen, start applying this discipline in your business today, where you're putting profit first into a separate account, and then all the rest of these three things, owner's pay, taxes, and operating expenses, are then done out of your normal business. And do that for every single time that actual income comes into your business. Start doing that discipline today, and it's going to wildly change your business moving forward, especially for that next Black Swan event, because then we'll have a cushion there from this. All right. So till next time, Andy Warner here signing off, and I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day and crush it this coming week. Thanks.